Hello, beautiful souls. I am going to drop in and share the frequencies for this week and some strategies and messages to help us navigate everything that we're going through and experiencing and creating this coming week. And thank you so much for joining me for this frequency intel. You know, when you join me for this frequency intel, whether you're joining me live or you are joining me at another time, you're contributing your frequency to this frequency intel. And through the beautiful principles of quantum physics and the entanglement that we are all part of, we affect each other. We affect how we resonate and entrain. And so I want to drop in and really allow the guides to come through and share what is available to us and to help us understand why some of the things are occurring in our lives that are occurring, and what are some of the opportunities that we have to really elevate our frequency and to begin to hold our frequency in a really elevated state and maintain that frequency so that we're magnetizing to us and we're sending out, we're broadcasting a really high frequency. And so the frequency that is here that really wants to partner with us this week is the frequency of landing. And just feeling into that word. You know, words are technology. Language is technology. It's frequency. And just by speaking that word out, saying the word landing, feel how that resonates in your body. And then pulling that frequency in of landing. And exploring what it feels like, how it moves you, how it doesn't move you, what it ignites or uplifts, or how does it feel if it is it grounding? The frequency of landing in our bodies, in our homes, in our moment, landing. And I love the frequency of this word because it's so gentle. And if you tap into and feel the frequency of the place that I'm transmitting this frequency intel from, you can feel the sense of landing. You can feel the gravity pulling us into our bodies and holding us in our bodies. Our superconscious connecting with our body consciousness brings us into a state of authentic power that is irrefutable, undeniable, potent potential to create anything that we want to create, it to manifest and bring into our reality, into the material manifestation of experience here on earth, anything that we can dream up. So this frequency of landing is inviting us into a deeper state of presence, and just feel the frequency of this sacred holy place where I'm transmitting this from. This beautiful mountain behind me that you see here, this is Taos Mountain. It is a sacred mountain. The frequency is very solid. It is very nurturing. And I happen to be in my backyard, and I do not take for granted one moment that I have the privilege of living where I live. And that's why I wanted to transmit this frequency intel from this particular place. To share the frequency of landing, of what that feels like, to be present, grounded in my body, and content. So when we land, it brings us into a state of contentment. Contentment is the balance of, the super high awe, gratitude, joy, bliss, wonder with the resonance of being here on earth, the gift of the body, the gift of this physical vehicle that my consciousness gets to explore through. It brings as above, so below, as within, so without. It brings us into the state of neutrality. It brings us into the state of, hey, everything is cool. Everything in this moment is all right. And that helps us navigate these monumental changes that we're going through. We've been going through them for the past 4 years. And that buildup, the harshness that we've been through by having our free will choice taken away from us through the things that we've experienced in the past 3 years, has been stressful. And also the opportunities that are arising, that the alignments of the stars are helping us to transform our lives. This transformation and transmutation phase that we've been in, this great awakening, is now, it's transmuting into what the guides have been calling the Great Return. So we're starting to move into that phase of the Great Return and out of the phase of the Great Awakening, though for sure, we're all still doing a lot of shadow work, a lot of inner child work, a lot of soul retrieval work, a lot of transmutation of the shadow into higher states of consciousness, into knowing ourselves more fully as the love that we are. And so the other frequency that has been brought in and that we're going to be working with this week is the frequency of homecoming. Coming home. And whether that means, there's a lot of change happening right now. There's a lot of disruption happening right now. And so whether the frequency of homecoming means that coming home to the self, which is vital and critical to our evolution and our maturity as the human species. It can also mean coming home, as in returning to your birthplace. I noticed that a lot of people are moving. They are feeling called to move geographically, and a lot of people are feeling called to return to the home. Well, why is that? Why are so many feeling called to return to a homecoming? Whether that's physical, whether that's emotional, whether it's mental, whether it is returning to the body after having been disassociated from the body, from feeling safe enough to be in the body on this planet, which many light workers, many starseeds, many people who identify as empaths or intuitives or sensitives or psychics, we haven't felt safe to be in the body. That's been a huge amount of work for me to get to a place where I am home, I'm welcome, I'm at peace, I am content, I am in reverence and awe for the experience of being human, for being in this body. That's been a lot of work, and I understand that there are people at all different levels doing this work to come home, to have a homecoming. And so I want to sort of unpack a little bit the homecoming, as in returning to a place, whether that's your birthplace, or it's a place that you've lived before, or it's a place that calls to you that you don't have any association with. Often what we are doing when we return home, when we make a homecoming, we are retrieving soul fragments of our energy field that were left behind either in this lifetime or in other lifetimes where we have lived on the earth plane. So really important to check in and see feel into that homecoming. Is it an emotional homecoming? I'm coming home to me. I'm coming home to my true self. I'm going to be loyal to my true self. Or is that homecoming geographic and you're feeling called to either visit or actually move to another location? And to invite yourself into allowing that pull, that draw, to embrace it, to welcome it, and to open to the gifts that the homecoming has to offer at this time. So this beautiful great return is we're still in the Lionsgate portal. We still have the ability to work with the material that came through in the last frequency intel about the Lionsgate portal. And I want to stress that we always have the ability to work with the Lionsgate portal frequencies. So that portal is, just to clarify what it is it's an alignment of the planet Earth with the star Sirius, A and B, so that star cluster, with the pyramids in Egypt, the other pyramids around the planet, and with the mesas in Arizona in the United States, the Hopi Mesas. This alignment opens a portal to our ability to return home to our point of origin as a soul, to where we were created by Source, by God Source. And I use the terms soul, monad, superconsciousness pretty interchangeably, but I think of the monad as the ultimate point of origin of us, and the literal frequency bandwidth that we occupy as a unique individuated I am presence, the soul, the spirit. So I wanted to explain that because a few people have asked me to elaborate on what are these terms and how do we understand them. And so soul, I would reference as the part of us that's here in physical form on Earth. And then we move into the superconscious self. That's a greater aspect, a greater amount of our monad. Our monad is the totality of who we are as the I am, as individuated fractals of Source. Source, God, Great Holy Spirit, the divine 0-point field, my cosmic best friend. I use all of those terms to mean, I include the term God Source, to mean that which we can't ever fully understand or know, but that's who and what we are a fractal of, that we are returning to. That's the work that we're doing being here on Earth and all of the other parallel realities that we live in as the monad, as the self, as the individual consciousness that we are. So we are in the process of building new foundations. And these foundations are critical aspects of how we are going to create on Earth moving forward. And so these new foundations that we're building, we are working to build new foundations, and we're working to strengthen the foundations that we've already begun building as we enter our awakening individually. So each one of us are in different phases of this new foundation building. Some of us have been building new foundations for years now. Some of us are just awakening and just starting to build a new foundation. So you may be strengthening a foundation that you've already been working on for quite some time. If you've been awakening and moving through the great, initiations that we work through here as human beings on Earth. The dark night of the soul, you may have been through many incarnations of death and rebirth cycles. That's what I call the dark night of the soul. And so wherever you are on that trajectory of the new foundation to the fifth dimensional grid of the new Earth that does not reference or play with the old aspects of what we created before in the third dimensional grid, the fields of lack and limitation, of forgetting who we are, of believing that there's not enough, of believing that I am not really, valuable or worthy, and I have to earn my value and my worth and my lovability. None of that's true. That's all a false dichotomy. It's a false field of awareness that we've been playing in to understand consciousness, and we're done with that exploration. That's why our systems, our infrastructures are crumbling, because they were built on the false fields of awareness, built and based in illusory fear. We are stepping out of that and partnering with authentic fear, partnering with our soul self, partnering with the consciousness of all that is, and building new foundations, or strengthening the foundations that you've already been building, and maybe tinkering with them a little bit too. So our ability to gather was taken away from us, and it was taken away from us without our consent, and that is trauma. That is capital T trauma, and that has caused a lot of anxiety, a lot of constriction, a lot of fear, a lot of questioning. Do I want to be here on the planet anymore? I hope that the answer to that is yes for you, because if you're listening to this frequency intel, you are a light worker. You are a being of light, and you have a purpose, and you have a value that is beyond measure, being here on Earth and awakening and doing the work to come back into wholeness. And we need you. We need you more than you could ever know. And so I hope that answer is yes, that you want to figure out a way to want to be here on the planet, and to work through whatever you need to work through to come to what I've come to, which is, I can't believe I get to be here on this planet and create and experience what I'm experiencing and what I am creating. So we have been through a lot, and so I want to offer to acknowledge you're not alone. If you are, if you're having a hard time, if you are going through a lot, if you are experiencing high levels of stress, if you're experiencing high levels of anxiety, there are reasons for that, and it's valid, and to honor where you are. And I think we've all been in a level of trauma that we didn't really even understand. I know for me, for sure, that hit me. It dawned on me. Oh my God, I am holding trauma in my system from having my free will choice taken away from me, and an external authority thinking that they know what's best for me. Whether that's, from a place of love, or whether that's from a place of control, I don't go into any of that, because it doesn't serve me in any way. And I hope that you will let go of and dismiss anything that is low vibrational, that brings you into any kind of fear. To know that that's an illusion, and to let it go. But what I do want to offer is, I want to offer a clearing of our energy fields, our body consciousness, and our emotional bodies, our mental bodies, our physical bodies, and our spiritual bodies, to let go of the trauma that we've experienced over the past 4 years, so that we can clear and have a clean slate from which to build these beautiful new foundations that we're building, from which to do this deeper soul work of healing and recovering from all that we've been through in the patriarchal paradigm that we're stepping out of, that we have closed, and that we are now moving into. I'm clearing a lot of energy right now, so I'm starting to clear a lot of energy, so I'm starting to have energy move up and through. So we are moving into the Great Return, and we're coming out of the Great Awakening. And so we're moving into this Great Return, and we need to clear what we're holding in the cellular structure, the memory complex of our I am presence. And so I want to invite you to come into letting go of everything that I just said. It's recorded, and you can reference back to it if there was something that was really meaningful, that really pinged something for you, or awakened something for you, or that made you question something. So let all of that go. Begin to allow your mind to come into just this present moment alignment with your I am presence, calling all of your energy back to you into this now moment from anywhere that it's scattered out into the field around you, out into the past or the present or the multiverse, the cosmic field. To call all of your energy back into this now moment and see, sense, feel, imagine a beautiful double-ended diamond in the center of your being. And notice that in the center of that diamond, there's a light. And notice too that diamond is beginning to spin. It is not stationary. It's spinning. It's vibrating. It may be pulsing for you. Could be any of these experiences. And to focus on that diamond, because this is your consciousness. This is your superconscious self in the physical vehicle of the body. The portal of the body is how we travel as souls here on earth. We use the body as the physical vehicle, the portal through which we travel through to have experience. And so this traveling may be across dimensions, it may be by location, it may be teleportation, it may be simply having the physical experience of connection in the third dimensional realm of the physical earth, meaning sitting down to have dinner with your beloved. Those sorts of experiences, interactions, that's also traveling. And so coming into stillness and setting an intention to open to receive healing and transmutation of the past 3 years, anything that we've picked up, any imprints that we collected, any trauma that we stored in our physical body because we didn't know what to do with it, any signatures of illusory fear that we took on board, and we made neural pathways and imprinted them into our belief systems. So any belief systems that we took on. And we want to just open to begin to allow the energy to begin to release. And how we want to release it is we want to release it up and out of our systems and back into the source field. We're not releasing down and into the earth any longer. That old pathway of releasing that we've all been taught is no longer a viable form of transmutation for us to release dense, stagnant, low vibrational energies. So I want to encourage and invite you to begin at the base, at the root, at the base of your spine, the tip of your tailbone, your perineum, and even including your feet, your legs, and begin clearing up and opening your channel to release and let go of anything that you took on that is no longer needed. Anything that you took on that makes you anxious, nervous, worried, concerned about your well-being, your ability to create, just beginning to release all of that. and releasing all of the signatures of trauma that you've experienced over the past 4 years. You can simply let it go now. You don't need to know what it is. Just through your intention to release it, you can simply let it go and allow it to move up and out. So we're going to start at the root. We're going to start at your root and begin to allow that energy that's in your root to move up and out, up all the way through your central channel and out through the top of your head and back into the universal complex, the great mystery, the void, the cosmic void, to be recycled back into pristine, pure source energy that we can utilize as the conscious cosmic beings that we are to create with. So moving that energy up through your root and into your pelvic bowl, into your sacral, your sacrum, your holy bone, the triangular shaped bone at the base of your vertebrae that connects to your tailbone. And to release and clear all 7 layers of your sacral chakra, clearing and moving that energy up and out. Any trauma, any signatures of belief systems that you took on that limit you, that confine you, that make you constrict or come inward and want to isolate and separate yourself, anything that has made you question who you are and whether you are worthy of love, whether you're worthy of all that you dream of, all that you desire. And moving up into your solar plexus, your belly, your gut. This is our portal where we pull in information from the cosmic field around us, our intuition, our gut instinct. And we want to clear our solar plexus. We want to clear our entire digestive system and move that energy up and out through your crown, out through the top of your head, and release it. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. It's not serving you anymore. You don't have to carry it with you. Just let it go, let it go, let it go, let it go. And moving your awareness up into your heart, up into your chest, up into the high heart, up into your whole diaphragmic area, your rib cage, your whole spinal column, all the way up to your shoulder blades, including the back body, and clearing, moving, pulling that energy up and out through your crown and into the cosmic void, just releasing and letting it dissipate, letting it dissolve, letting it go. All of the trauma that we experienced from having our free will choice taken away from us and being constricted, restricted, told what to do, told how to think, told what to believe. And releasing that, letting that go, letting that go, letting it go is not who you are, and you don't live there anymore. Let that go, and moving up into your heart, the rest of your heart chakra, clearing anything left in your heart. And we're moving into the throat chakra, and there's a lot of constriction, restriction here. My throat chakra is wanting to close as I connect into the collective consciousness and do this transmission, this clearing. And so we want to intentionally honor our throat chakra. This is the way, this is our creation portal paired with our sacral chakra. This is how we create in the world. This is how we manifest in the world. The sound, the frequency of sound is how we create. And so this has been restricted and constricted and closed down and turned off and cut off. And we want to honor that. We want to open it back up. So we're going to move all of the density, all of the trauma, all of the ways that we shut ourselves down and we stayed quiet and we complied, all of the self-abandonment. Boy, that's stored here. And so we want to move that trauma up and out. That's not who you are, and you don't have to carry this density, this low vibrational frequency with you any longer. All of the anxiety, the worry, the fear, the dread, the unknowing, the oh my God, what's happening, the shock, the trauma, let it all go. Up and out, just beautifully clearing. and moving into your beautiful face, your brain, your head, the bones of your head, the structures of your head, the structures of your brain, all the way into the very center, into your pineal gland, pituitary gland, and everything that you witnessed, everything that you took on, everything that you began to believe is true or be concerned that it's true. Let all of that move up and out. Beautiful clearing up and out. Could you feel that release that happened when we went into the third eye? Beautiful release, letting it go. So some confidence is starting to move in for a lot of you. The confidence to do this work of clearing your own energy fields, clearing out trauma, clearing out shock, clearing out low vibrational frequencies, shame, guilt, grief, attachment, any of those frequencies up and out, and just opening your crown, opening that 1,000-petaled lotus, beautiful crown, clearing anything that you stored there, any ways that you shut it down or constricted your crown, your connection back to your monad, back to your point of origin. Beautiful, clearing that. And then I want to invite you to this beautiful homecoming with your point of origin, with your monad, with your pure essence, your divine soul blueprint as it was created by source consciousness before it ever had a physical life of any kind on any planet in any star system, including the earth plane. And send your consciousness, your awareness back to your point of origin. However that works for you is perfect. There's no wrong way to do this. If you don't experience anything, that's perfectly okay, but I want to invite you to locate yourself back at your point of origin, back at source consciousness. And breathe and allow that homecoming to take place for you. And as you connect back to your point of origin, I want to invite you to invite your consciousness, your original blueprint, your frequency back down in through your crown and all the way down into your physical form, into your emotional body, your mental body, your spiritual body, your energetic body, to take up residence as the pure source consciousness that you are. This is the setting of the new foundation from which you are going to build your life moving forward. And breathe. And breathe in the reverence for yourself, for doing this work, for taking this time to be a part of this transmission. And just allowing whatever is being experienced to come in and penetrate you to the core of your being. Inviting in more of your soul essence to be here present with you on earth at this time. More of your soul's essence, more of your soul signature. And so the alchemy of what we've just done is the alchemical principle of coagulation. So we've just coalesced or coagulated our superconsciousness, our pure source self, as we were created at the point of origination of us being a fractal of source, us being initiated as a soul, back into our lived experience as the human beings that we are in this reality, in this lifetime, in this experience. And so working with the alchemy of coagulation, you can think of that as something solidifying, something coming into harmonic resonance, two aspects of self coming together and melding and merging into oneness. Into the true self. So, thank you so much for joining me. This feels like everything that wanted to be transmitted, and you can feel the frequency is the portal of this transmission is starting to come to a completion. And that's when I know that that the frequency intel is complete for this week. Thank you so much for joining me for this frequency intel. I honor, I cherish, I love you beyond measure. You are not alone. We are all going through this together, and it is an honor to walk this human walk with all of you. All right, my beautiful friends, I will close there, and I say thank you, thank you, thank you. I love you infinitely, timelessly, ceaselessly, abundantly. You are magnificent beings. I'll see you next week. Bye for now.